Hello everyone, a very good morning to all of you and welcome back to my class. Students, in this class I am going to discuss the semi-technical description of a flowering plant. So, and this topic is taken from the plant systematics. And students, if you see your surroundings, you will see a different varieties of plants. Some are flowering and some are non-flowering. So in this video, in this class, we are going to see that how a flowering plant is described and on the basis of which characteristics we describe a flowering plant. So first of all, when a plant or twig is given to you and you are asked to describe about the plant in semi-technical terms, then the description should be seeing the morphological appearance. That means how a plant looks in its external appearance, how it looks externally. So the description should depend upon the morphological appearance only. And then the description should be in a very brief form, that means in a small form, and a simple and in scientific language, that means in technical terms. You have to use the technical terms only, and it should be in proper sequence, in a proper order, in a proper manner. You have to follow here. And first of all, when we start describing about the plant, we have to write about the habitat. Habitat means generally in which place it is found, or it grows or it develops, where it is found. So either it is worldwide distributed, or it is it grows only in some places, or it is found in only some places. That we have to describe, whether it is tropical, subtropical, or found in colder region, that is in temperate region. So, and next to that comes habit. Habit means the given plant or given twig, whether it is a herb or a shrub or a tree, a small tree or big tree, or it is a twinner, or it is a tendril climber. All these things we describe in the habit. And next to habit and habitat, we see the vegetative characters. The vegetative characters are root, stem and leaves. So how it looks, how the root looks externally, whether it is a taproot system or it belongs to monocot, then it is fibrous, or it is adventitious type. So all these things. Again, similarly in stem, whether it is herbaceous, woody, or glabrous, hairy, which type of stem is there. And similarly in leaf also, venation is which type of venation is there, and simple type or pinnately compound type of leaf are found. We have to describe in vegetative characters. After that, we describe about floral character. It means type of inflorescence, and next to inflorescence comes flower. So which type of flower is present, and that means complete flower, bisexual flower, or actinomorphic flower. All these characters we have to write in the floral characters. And next to flower, it comes calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, and later fruit and seed. After completing the vegetative characters and the floral characters, we have to describe floral formula and floral diagram. So let's see what is floral formula and how we write a floral formula of a given twig of given flower, and similarly how to draw a floral diagram. Let's see this. So in floral formula, a floral formula is a system of representing the structure of a flower by using some scientific letters, numbers and some symbols. So in the floral formula, what we use, some letters should be used there, and it is represented by numbers and some symbols. And next to that, it represent floral symmetry, symmetry of flower, whether it is actinomorphic or zygomorphic or it is asymmetry. That we see in the floral formula, we can represent that in the floral formula. And number of parts, that means number of floral parts, the floral whorls which are present, the number of calyx. If there are 5 number of calyx, we can write 5. And whether and corolla is if 5, then we can write C is 5. So number of parts, it also represent that. And the conation, that means cohesion. Cohesion means the attachment with its own part is called conation or cohesion. And adhesion, adhesion. With if the floral parts are attached with a different floral part, not with the same floral, its own part, either it is attaching, the anther is going to attach with the corolla, that is adhesion of the. And insertion, how it is inserted, or it is inside or outside. And the ovary position, position of the ovary is we can also show in this floral formula, whether it is inferior type of ovary or superior type of ovary or half superior. We can also represent that, we can also show in this floral formula. And what is it? So effusion is shown by enclosing with a bracket. If it is if calyx, you have to write that calyx, number of calyx is the number of sepals are 5, and it is gamosepalous. Then the fusion, and the gamosepalous means all the sepals are united. So the fusion of these sepals you can show with a bracket. Putting a bracket here, we can represent that it is gamosepalous. And if it is like this without bracket, that means it is polysepalous. 5 sepals are present, but it is polysepalous. So fusion is shown by enclosing with a bracket. Next, adhesion is shown by a line drawn above the floral parts. So if the androecium is attached with the corolla, that is called, because it is not attached with its own part, that means filaments or anthers are attached, it is called cohesion of stamens. But if it is attached with another floral parts, then it is called adhesion. So here you have to put a line and above the floral parts. So adhesion is shown by a line drawn above the floral parts. And similarly, if this androecium is going to attach it with K, then we show this like this. And also next see the next point. Floral formula are useful tools for remembering the characteristic of various angiospermic flowers, angiospermic families. So it is the easy way. How do we remember all these families, the varieties of families are there, and how do we remember the characters of all the families? So it is the useful tool for remembering the characters of all the families. So this is very, very important. And now let's see how do we represent. If you have to represent the symmetry of flower, then, and the flower is actinomorphic. What do you mean by the term actinomorphic? If a flower can be cut into 2 equal halves, crossing from any planes, crossing to the center, it can be cut into 2 equal halves from any planes. Here you can observe that is in all the planes, it is cut into equal halves. In this plane, in this plane, in this plane, the flower can be divided into 2 equal halves, and it is crossing to the center. So that type of flower is called actinomorphic. The symmetry is actinomorphic, and the actinomorphic can be shown in an easy way in semi-technical description. Just a circle, you draw a circle and put a plus sign, draw a circle. This is actinomorphic. When you have to represent actinomorphic, you have to show actinomorphic, then just put this sign, and this flower is, that means the flower is actinomorphic. And if you are, and this percentage sign, and if you have to show the zygomorphic, if the flower is zygomorphic, then put a percentage sign. And what is zygomorphic? When a flower can be divided into two equal halves from only one plane. So here you can observe, this flower is Clitoria ternata, which belongs to Fabaceae family, and in the Fabaceae family we have seen that the petals, one large petal is there, and the two wing petals are there, and two keel petals are there, and they are of different size. So this flower is called zygomorphic, and from only one plane it can be divided into two equal halves. So this type of zygomorphic flower we can show by putting a percentage sign. I hope you understood here. And now let's see, if it is a male flower, only male flower is present. In monoecious or in dioecious, we have seen some flowers are only unisexual. Either male is present, or that means staminate, or pistillate. That means only female part is present, pistillate flower, and only male part is present, staminate. So to show a male flower, you just draw a circle like this and put this arrow mark. This sign is for male flower. And if it is a female flower, then same small circle and a plus sign. That is for female flower. So here male and female. But if it is in unisexual, if flower is unisexual, but if flower is bisexual, that means both male and female are present, both male and female parts are present in the same flower, then we have to show like this, both male and female. So here in this slide I have shown this. Now after the symmetry and the unisexual and bisexual type, you have to write the floral parts. That means calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So how do we represent the calyx? For calyx it is K. So capital K is for calyx. And if the number here, see, in this is hibiscus flower, and in this flower 5 number of sepals are present. Individually the calyx is called sepal. So each is called sepal. So number of sepals are 5. If the number of sepals are Kn means number, the number of sepals are 5, then we write here 5. And I explained you that if it is these calyx, these sepals are fused, that means if it is a gamma sepalous flower, then put the bracket here. We represent the fusion by a bracket, putting a bracket here. That means 5 sepals are present, and this is gamosepalous. If it is a polysepalous and 5 number of sepals are present, then we write like this, in this manner. So for gamosepalous, within the bracket, number n, either 5 or 6 or 3 or 4, other trimerous, tetramerous or pentamerous. So the number may vary. So, and if it is in bracket, it is gamosepalous, and if it is without bracket is not there, then it is polysepalous. So this is how we represent the calyx. And now comes corolla. In corolla, for corolla we are using capital C. So capital C is for corolla, and if it is similarly like calyx, if number of corolla is 5, we write 5. Here you can observe in hibiscus, corolla, the petals are not united. So this is polypetalous condition. It is showing polypetalous. So petals are 5, but they are not united. For this, so for this flower, we write C5, not within brackets. But for this flower in Dhatura, this is Dhatura flower, you see here petals are united. So all the 5 petals are there, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 petals are there, but all the 5 petals are united. Corolla is united. The number of petals are united, so it is within bracket, shown within bracket. So this is for corolla. And what is perianth? Perianth means if we cannot cannot distinguish between the calyx and the corolla, so they are similar, that is called perianth lobes. So P for capital P for perianth. Now let's see, for endoecium, A, capital A is for endoecium, and if the number of endoecium is 5, we write like this. If these are fused, again within brackets. If these are many number, so infinitive, then we write like this. Or if it is only 9 plus 1, in Fabaceae we have seen it is 9 plus 1. That means 9 are united, it is a diadelphous condition. So 9 are united and 1 is separated. So diadelphous. If it is in monodelphous, so all are united. If there are 10 stamens and all are united, we write like this. So for endoecium also we use these brackets and without brackets method. And in gynoecium, see, in the gynoecium, number of carpels. How many numbers of carpels are there? So number of carpel, if it is 1 carpel, and so we write 1. And if it is only 1, then there is no necessity of putting a bracket here, because the carpel is 1 and it is fused, or it is syn or apocarpus, doesn't matter. So we write like 1 only. But if it is 2 carpel and 2 are syncarpus, then like this. And if you have to show superior ovary in hypogynous flower, ovary position is superior, and inferior in epigynous, ovary position is inferior. And in perigynous, it is half superior, or you can say half inferior. So to show the superior ovary flower, position of ovary can also be shown here. If a bar or a dash or a line is below the G, capital G is for gynoecium, and if you put a bar, or you can say line or a dash below the G, that means the G position is superior, showing G above the G position is above this bar. So this is type of superior ovary. And similarly, if you put a bar or a line above the G, that means G position is becoming inferior. So this is how we show inferior ovary and superior ovary. And if you have to show half superior, then G, and in the middle this line is present. You have to put a line in the middle of the G. That means the G position of gynoecium is half superior and half inferior. So this is how we describe the floral formula in semi-technical description of a flowering plant. So the flower should be described in a brief and in a very simple manner, with using some symbols, some numbers and some alphabets. Here we used that. Using all these, we can describe about a flower. Here we have described about the symmetry, the fusion, the cohesion, the adhesion. Everything can be described in this floral formula. Now let's see, after floral formula is usually it is accompanied by floral diagram. So let's see what is floral diagram. So the floral parts which are present, the parts which are present in a flower, the 4 whorls, the main 4 whorls. The first whorl is, the outermost whorl is for calyx, next to that corolla, and next comes endoecium, and the innermost whorl is gynoecium. To represent this structure, the floral diagram represent cross section of a flower. So the ground plan of a flower, the cross section of a flower, and provides information about symmetry. So the flower is shown in a cross section, that is called floral diagram, and what it shows, what it represents about, it represent about the symmetry, whether the flower is actinomorphic or zygomorphic, and symmetry can be represented there also, and number of parts, floral parts, and number of floral parts, estivation, how it is arranged, and the placentation also. In the floral formula we cannot represent the placentation, and but in the floral formula it can be represented in floral formula. Placentation, estivation, and number of floral organs, floral parts. And the bracts and the bracteoles are also shown in this floral diagram. So let's see. And number of floral parts, how the floral diagrams is drawn here. You can see the number of floral parts. First, how many number of calyx is there, how many number of sepals are present, and the arrangement of floral parts, how this is arranged. So how what is the estivation, and the relation to one another. What is the relation between the endoecium and the corolla? This can also be represented here. So see, this part is the outermost whorl is called calyx, and how it is arranged? It is arranged in twisted manner. The estivation is showing twisted because the one margin is inside and the next margin is outside. Here also one is inside and one is outside. One inside, one outside. So if it is arranged, the sepals are arranged in this manner, that is called, it is pointed. Sepals are drawn in a pointed manner. So if it is arranged in this manner, this is twisted type of estivation. But here you see that these sepals are not united. So this is polysepalous condition. Number of sepals are 5, but they are not united. So we can write it in the floral formula also. So number of sepals are 5 and they are not united, and the estivation is twisted. That we can observe in the floral diagram. And now come to the second whorl, which is corolla. In this petals, number of petals are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it represents the number of petals and sepals, that means floral parts, and endoecium also, and the inside the carpel. How many carpels are there? It can also be seen. So here 5 petals are present, and these petals are united. You can observe this properly if you see this carefully. These petals are united. That means it is gamopetalous. Polysepalous, gamopetalous condition. And here also the estivation is twisted estivation. And next to that, third whorl is endoecium. And the anthers, if you observe carefully, you can notice that the anthers are diathecous. So these diathecous anthers are attached with filaments. These are filaments. And they are attached, the anthers and the filament. That means the endoecium is attached with the corolla. So it is epipetalous condition. It is showing epipetalous condition, diathecous anther, filamentous anther. So all these things we can observe in this floral diagram. And next come the innermost whorl, that is for gynoecium, and it is showing if how many number of carpels are there. If 5 carpels, pentacarpellary, so in this manner 5 carpels are there, and inside that locule is present, and placentation. Which type of placentation? If it is free central placentation or exile placentation. See, if this is carpels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inside the carpels, locules are present. These are locules. And inside the locules, ovules are arranged. If it is arranged in this manner, it is axile placentation. And if the arrangement is like this, it is unicarpellary, monolocular and precentral placentation. No walls are formed, no septa are formed, so it is precentral placentation. So this also can be observed, the placentation also can be observed in this floral diagram, in the floral diagram. Now let's see, here I have put a slide of Hibiscus rosa sinensis, floral diagram of Hibiscus rosa sinensis and a the floral formula of the same flower. So let's see, observe this. Here how many petals? One thing I missed. And this is called bract. If bract is there, you have to put like a bracteate structure in the below the calyx towards the anterior side. You have to put this structure below the calyx, and the mother axis is represented by a dot. The mother axis, the posterior side, is represented by a dot. So this is how we draw. And here you can see in the Hibiscus rosa sinensis floral diagram, how many sepals are there first? Number of sepals are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they are showing which estivation? Valvate estivation. They are showing valvate estivation. This is 1 and this is 2, third one 3 and fourth sepal, and this is fifth sepal. And these sepals are united with a loop. These are united. So this is 5 sepals are present. See here, calyx, number of calyx is 5. 5 sepals are present. Number of calyx, and it is gamosepalous, so within bracket. And number of corolla, you see the number of corolla, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the estivation, twisted estivation. Here in the calyx we have seen the sepals are showing valvate estivation, whereas corolla, petals are showing twisted estivation. So we cannot represent estivation here, but in the floral diagram we can observe the estivation. So these petals are not united. So corolla C is having 5 petals without they are not united, so not put any bracket, not necessary to put here any bracket. And this is corolla, number 5. And see androecium, stamen, androecium, many anthers are present and they are attached, they are present on one circle, that means on one delphus. So it is showing monodelphus. Many number of anthers are present. So how do we write? A infinitive many, like this. And gynoecium, number of carpels, you see how many number of carpels are there? 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5. 5 carpels are there. So G is 5, G5, and within brackets in carpus, so within bracket, it is superior ovary. So ovary position, to show the position of ovary superior, we put a line below the gynoecium. And it is also epipetalous condition. Here in this it is not given, but it is showing epipetalous. Then we have to put a line above the floral characters. And the bracts, for bracts are there. This is bract. Bract is present, so BR. Bracteoles, the small scale like structure which is present below the calyx is called bracteoles. So if it is bracteate, bracts are present, BR. And if it is if bracts are not present, Then how do we write? EBR. EBR means bracts are not present, and we do not put a bract here. It is EBR. If it is showing that bracts are not present, then EBR. And if bracts are present, BR. One bract is there. Bracteoles. How many number of bracteoles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is called epicalyx also. So bracteoles are present. And this symbol is for actinomorphic flower. And this is male and female both present. That means flower is bisexual. This is how we write floral formula and we draw floral diagram. And a dot is there to show the mother axis. This, I think all of you have understood this concept well. And in the next class we will discuss about the family Fabaceae. Till then, take care.